Elite Facts presents.
Don't make these mistakes. 12 costly travel mistakes you should avoid.
12.
Don't book too early. Let's be honest, when it comes to traveling, around 95% of us get overly excited. So excited in fact that we'll almost immediately book our flight, hotels and resorts right away, many months in advance. Now, although you might think booking early is a good thing, it really isn't. By doing this, you'll be the person paying more than your fellow travellers. When it comes to travel, the early bird doesn't always get the worm. Don't be overeager. I know it's difficult, but trust us, patience is a virtue. Wait for deals. Here's a tip for you. The best time to purchase airline tickets is 6 to 8 weeks before your flight, or around 3 or 4 months in advance. If you're travelling somewhere during peak season, for cruises and tours, wait until the last minute. Companies have to fill boats and tours, so they offer amazing last minute deals.
11.
But don't wait too long. Yes, just because we discourage you from booking early doesn't mean you should book your flights last minute either. Airlines don't let underpriced fares sit around for long. Instead, what you should do is, if you've been following fares and see them plummet, book it as soon as you possibly can. You have 24 hours to cancel your flight without paying any penalties. Take the deal, think about it, cancel or keep it. It's as simple as that. However, if you wait to think about it before you buy your ticket, you're most likely going to miss out and kick yourself over it.
10.
Don't skip the travel insurance. You know, you see all these TV shows jokingly say that travel insurance is a scam or that it's not necessary to purchase. However, travel insurance is a necessity. It may seem like a ridiculous added expense, but travel is about the unknown and you never know what's going to happen down the road. And guess what? Anything can happen. That's why you need it. You could possibly break your leg, lose your phone, pop an eardrum, scuba diving, or have to leave the country because of natural disaster. Travel insurance shouldn't be avoided. It protects you in case of both medical and non-medical emergencies overseas, and it's a smart thing to buy, even if you've already spent a lot of money on your trip and can't fathom the idea of spending more to replace certain items you've lost overseas. Don't make the mistake most people make and get travel insurance.
9.
Overpaying for food and water at the airport. Just because you're not abroad yet doesn't mean you won't spend a ton of money before you reach your destination. Airport food is known for being way too overpriced and unhealthy. Don't do what most people do and have your breakfast or dinner at the airport before travelling. It's always a good idea to eat before you fly and pack an empty water bottle. You have to throw away any liquids larger than 3.4 ounces before security, but paying $5 for a bottle of water at the airport seems like highway robbery. Plus, bringing your own reusable container is better for the environment.
8.
Don't eat near major tourist sites. This one we all know about. Tourist traps are the worst. Sure, we'll get to visit an amazing site, but after a few hours you'll find yourself spending a big chunk of your holiday budget there on food and water alone. The food served near any major attraction is usually going to be double the price and not nearly as tasty or authentic. The reason is simple. When restaurants know customers aren't coming back, they don't worry about the quality. And what do tourists know about authentic local cuisine anyway? They just want to brag about the incredible pizza they've just had in front of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. What you should do instead is you should follow the 6-block rule. Walk 6 blocks in any direction from a major tourist attraction. The further away you are, the more local, cheap and delicious the food will be. I know it sounds very inconvenient, however your wallet will thank you later.
7.
Don't skip the local tourist office. Okay, let's be honest, most of us skip the tourist office when we arrive at our destination. This, however, is a big mistake. The reason this is such a big mistake is because they're here to show us the best deals and what the area has to offer. They have advice on current events, festivals, and off-the-beaten-path information you aren't going to find in any guidebook. And it's their job to literally know everything about the place you are in. Moreover, they often sell tourism cards that offer free or discounted access to museums, attractions, and public transportation. Instead of ignoring it, when you get to a new city, head to the tourism office and ask for information on what to see and do and where the deals are. Grab a map or a discount card, and if you haven't found a place to stay yet, let them help you book an accommodation.
6.
Don't rely solely on taxis. It's no secret that taxi services like to rip off tourists. Think about it, when they're asked to take a customer to a location that they don't know the whereabouts of, the taxi driver is going to take the longest route possible in order to make the ride cost as much as they possibly can. Ride-sharing services have disrupted the taxi industry because they're often a cheaper and more reliable way to travel. The best way to save money on transportation costs is to use the ride-sharing app simultaneously and compare the estimated charge before scheduling a ride. Some cities also allow you to split the cost with other riders via Liftline or Uberpool, which is essentially a modern day car.
5,
Using credit cards with foreign transaction fees. Here's one that not a lot of us really think about when on vacation. A foreign transaction fee is a surcharge that comes with every purchase made on a credit card outside the US, typically tacking on 2 to 3% of every sale. Now that doesn't sound like much, however these fees can add up quickly. A number of travel rewards cards can offer 0 transaction fees as an incentive. Some popular options include Chase Sapphire Preferred, Bank of America Travel Rewards, and Barclaycard Arrival Plus World Elite. Plan ahead by finding the best banks and credit unions for travellers.
4,
Not checking all possible lodging options. Just because you found a moderately and reasonably priced hotel room doesn't mean you shouldn't stop looking. It could take nothing more than an email to get a better rate. You never know if you don't ask. One thing you should always try doing is try to negotiate a discount for late arrivals or off-season bookings. You should also consider staying at hostels. Many have private rooms, and even couch surfing is a viable option if you're not going to be in the room that often.
3,
Rating the minibar. Here's a bit of an obvious one that we still think is worth mentioning. Don't be tempted by the minibar. A hotel's markup can be anywhere from 75 to 300% on candy bars, water and booze, according to a 2010 survey by Mint. Instead of giving in to temptation, you're better off stocking up on snacks and alcohol from a local grocery store before hunger hits. The supermarket might also offer much more intriguing local foods than the widely known Milky Way bar. Better yet, try and find a hotel that offers free amenities, including snacks. Just make sure that the hotel doesn't catch you sneaking stuff into your room. Some hotels don't take kindly to this.
2,
Paying outrageous airport or hotel parking fees. Rental cars are expensive enough. Last thing you want to think about is parking fees. Thankfully, there's a number of GPS-powered apps that identify the cheapest and closest parking lots in any given city at any given time. Also, you'll obviously want to skip the valet to save some more cash.
1,
Don't forget to service your car before a road trip. This one's for the more adventurous people out there who like to travel by car. Sure, road trips can definitely be fun, however they can take a massive toll on your holiday budget if you're not cautious. That's why it's always smart to schedule a vehicle checkup in advance before you begin your journey. Top off your wiper fluid and oil and look for any potential problems that might leave you stranded in the middle of nowhere. A comprehensive inspection includes tyres, brakes, fluids and engine.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.